Welcome to this session. My name is Muhammad Sanoub. Today in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to draw results such as XRD, X-ray diffractometer result, chemisorption results, BET results, and so on using Excel sheet. Usually, when we collect the data from instrument, we use the origin to draw the data. But these data can also be drawn by Excel sheet. And actually in the Excel sheet also you can do several modifications as you can do it in the origin, such as changing the format type, the font size, the color, and so on. To start, let's first get some results. Here I have set of XRD results which is exported in the format of CSV, and to take this information or to draw it, if you have multiple results that you need to draw it in one graph, I usually recommend to have these data in one new Excel sheet. So let's start to open Excel sheet. This is one new Excel sheet that we are going to collect the data here. So let's open the data that we got from XRD. For example, this results. Let's start with this sample. So double click on it, and then after that we have more than one column. For each one of these columns has a certain information. For example, for column A is the 2 theta, which is going to be the x-axis of our graph. B is the intensity of XRD results, and so on. For us, we are going to collect these two lines. How we can highlight the data, because we have many data and it's difficult to scroll down by mouse, but there is a better way to highlight all these data by clicking the first cell. Then after that click on shift and arrow down, so all the column is highlighted. Then after that also we take the second column, Control C. Then after that we go to our Excel sheet that we are going to collect the data on, and you need to paste it, but I recommend to paste it from the second row, not from the first one. We leave the first one for writing the title of this data. So the name of this sample is WT06-1 1H. So to draw it, you need to go to insert, then after that to chart, to scatter, then select the scatter with smooth lines. After that, this is the place where you are going to draw. Right click on it, then select data, then make add. The first one will be the series name, which is WT06-1H. Just highlight the cell A1. Then after that we will go to highlight the x-axis. So we go to the second one, and here you need just to click on the first one. Then again we click on shift and arrow down to highlight all these values. Similarly, we go to y-axis. We'll do the same. We click on the first sample, shift and arrow down. Then after that we click on OK and OK. Let's go up and see the graph. If you notice that these data or these values in x-axis and y-axis is in the scientific format, so to change it, just you can Control A on the data, and from here you can go to number and change it from scientific to number. Again, you can do more formatting, like adjusting the decimal place by clicking on the x-axis. Actually, even you can do it here, just you can change it from here as you like. You can increase it or decrease it, but the second place where you can change is from the x-axis and y-axis. So let me show you the second place. You can highlight or click on the axis that you want to adjust these values, then right click, after that format axis. From this window you can adjust the minimum and maximum bounds. For this sample, usually we draw it between 5 and 50, and for us usually we like to keep the major unit to be 5 and minor to be 1. You can adjust it depending on the type of results that you have. And here you have also option of values in reverse order. If your characterization technique requires that, like FTIR, whenever you collect the data of FTIR, sometimes you need to make value in reverse order. But for XRD, we don't need to do that. And here, after that, you can choose the appropriate tick marks that you like. For me, for example, I like to have the major type to be outside, and I like to keep the minor type to be none. Then after that, number, you can change it. Here, the second place that I mentioned to you, where you can change the decimal places. So here you can change the format of the graph. If you want it to be general, you can click here. For example, general, you see, without any decimal places. You can change it to scientific. In my case, I'm going to use number and 1 decimal place. From here, I changed it. That's it. Now, if I have another sample that I need to draw it with this result, how I can do? Just simply you can open the sample name. In my case is, let's see, this is the result. Then after that we highlight the sample as we did in the previous one. Shift and down arrow, Control C, then I paste the result here, and I write the name of the sample in one cell, 06 to hour. Again, I can change it if I like. Even you can leave it until the end, until you paste all samples that you have, then you can change it at once, doesn't matter. So you can add the sample to the plot by right click, then select data, then make add. So series name will be the name of this series, then x-axis will be here. Again, we can add the y-axis, first cell, then shift and down arrow. Okay. You see how simple it is to collect this data. Okay. Okay, now you can see two colors overlapped, indicating we have two buttons. So one of the technique here in such kind of graphs that we need to draw these samples either in overlapped format or on a stacked format where you have your sample above each other. So the overlapped will be like that, but you cannot see exactly what is happening in the first sample. So I recommend you can draw it in stacked format, over each other by shifting this y-axis. How you can do that? You need to create new y-axis, simply by making this equation equal this original y-axis plus the value which is going to be written in this cell, and you need to fix that value by clicking on F4 for one time. Then after that, click on enter and come back to the cell. You see here in the corner, just double click on it, so the equation is highlighted over all these data. Similarly for the other one, you can make y-axis plus this cell, F4 to fix it, and then drag it. The next thing that you do, just you can correct your graph. One way to correct it is to just click on the graph, and in that case you will see the x-axis and y-axis. Simply just drag the y-axis from the old y-axis to the modified y-axis. You have other way. You can right click, select. So I changed this. Now I will show you the second method for the first sample. Just you can make edit here. We don't want to edit this series name. We don't want to change anything on the x axis. Just we change the series y value. You can see it was highlighting B column. We need to shift it to C by clicking the first sample, shift and arrow down. Now we modify the graph from old y-axis to the new or the modified y-axis. Now the beauty of this method, here you can make shift for the data set as you like, up or down. I can make it even down without changing the data at all, but changing the position in the y-axis. And here you can make as you can. If you want to add 5 samples, 10 samples, but as you increase the number of stack sample, in that case, these small peaks will become smaller and smaller if you keep the size of the graph as it is. But you can expand it as you like. So usually the first sample is going to start from 0, but the second sample you can shift it up. Sometimes you need to make trial and error more than one time to see what is the best fit. But there is another way where you can guess easily just by go to any empty cell for the first sample and make equal max, just to see what is the maximum value in the y-axis. So from here we understood that the maximum value is 1100, so simply just make it 1200 and so on. The second thing which is important for us to modify the graph is the axis titles. Just you need to click on this add, this plus, then after that go to axis title, and then after that you'll see they are here, but you need to modify it. Usually for XRD result, the x-axis is 2 theta. Theta you can write it like this or on the symbol. We prefer to have it on symbol way. So go to insert symbol, then you will find it here. If you don't have it here or you did not use it before, just you need to search for it here. Okay, so this is the theta. Then after that make a bracket and put the unit. For XRD is degree. For y-axis it is intensity and it is arbitrary unit, a dot u dot, and close the bracket. Also you need to add the legend. To add the legend you need to click on the graph, then on this plus icon, then after that click here, and then you can change the place. Some people like to have it on the top, some of them on the left, bottom, as you like it. Select the required format. For me, I want to keep it on the right. Again, here you can adjust the dimension of the graph as you like. For example, if I select at the top, then by that you can make the end of drawing wider. You can even adjust this as you like. You can take it down. One thing also, to change the color, you need to click on the outer box and then go to home, then select the color that you like. You see, I like it to be black. Again, for these lines, if you want to change this line to a certain color, just click on the x-axis and go to chart design, format, then shape outline, then select the color that you like. For me, I like to have it black, but this is just for you to see it. You see it is pink, but I can change it from here to black. Similarly for y-axis, actually usually for XRD we don't like to see the data. We can remove it, but keep it for time being until we add the third X-ray diffractometer, then we can cancel it, because I want to show you something about adjusting the numbers. Now let's add one more sample here. This is done. We took 1 hour, 2 hours, let's take 3 hours for same sample on this. Again, we click on this sample and we paste it here. The sample name is WT06-3H. You can highlight this if you like to change it to different format, number format. And also let's add the new y-axis from now by adding the original value to this cell and click on F4 to fix it. Then double click on this in the corner. Now make select, add. This is the new value. This is x-axis, and here is the new y-axis. Okay. So you can clearly see that we have two colors, the blue and green. Now let's shift these value. So again, we can guess as we mentioned before. Maybe you can make 2000, or the second way, you make the in the cell equal max and highlight this value. To see what is the maximum value. So the first set of sample is 1200, let's say. The second one 1400. So total of 2600. So just make 2600. Again, you can adjust as you like if you want to make more space between them. Okay. So now let's see this y-axis. In some cases, you need to adjust this value because now this value is coming based on auto mode, but you can change it to certain fixed value. Let's say 6000. You see, it become very small, and this can be is fixed now. In case you added more samples, there is a chance for some other sample to be above 6000 and cannot be shown. So very important for you to adjust this and make it in auto mode, or try to cover all the sample. It depends on the maximum intensity that you have. Now for us, I want to make it auto, so let's remove this setting that I did by reset. And at the same time, for some results, such as XRD, such as FTIR. We don't like to show the y-axis because it is arbitrary unit, so just you can remove it and then adjust the area of the graph. Also, you can change the format of the plot from here, I mean the font. Usually for me, I prefer Times New Roman, but you can change as you like. Also the font size, so 12 is acceptable. These lines, you can keep it or you can remove it. You can also change it to different kind of format from here, from chart format, and you can choose the available format, or you can adjust it from these as you like. Okay, so for me, for XRD, I don't like to have anything. I usually remove it, and also I like to have this in close box, so I highlight the area of drawing, then I go to shape, outline, and choose the color that I like, so for me black. Also very important point for us, sometimes the sample show button with different thickness. In case it is very thick, you can reduce it. In case it is very thin, you can increase the thickness. How you can do that? Just simply by clicking on the button of your draw, I mean on the draw. Then from shape, outline, you can go to weight and you can change it as you like. If you want to have more lines, just click on more lines, then it become here, so you can adjust as you like. You see it become very thick, but I recommend you shouldn't go more than 2.5 maximum for some samples. For XRD, because it is condensed data, it's better to go to 1.5, so keep it on the origin points that was shown in Excel. So if you change one, you need to change the other, because not good to represent data with different font size and different line size. So you need to change the width for all lines to be identical by clicking on the sample button and change the font. Again, also you can change the colors by clicking on the buttons, then shape, outline, then you can change it as you like. For example, if you want this to be pink, you can choose. You can make even more outline colors from here, standard, and you can click on the color that you like. For example, if you want this, you can click on it. Again, also you can change the transparency. For example, if you want 80% transparency, you see, you can change the value, then it become like that. Now if you add transparency, whatever you change, whenever you change the color, it will change it with transparency, so you need to remove it if you don't like it. For me, I want to keep the transparency to be 0, and I think this is okay with me. That's it. This is the data which can be represented in your report for XRD. Thank you for listening.